Hi, thanks for having me this evening. My name is Louise Carson, and I have the honor of being the Executive Director for the Children's Recovery Center in Georgetown and Myrtle Beach. The Children's Recovery Center is your child advocacy center for Horry and Georgetown counties. A child advocacy center is a one-stop shop for child abuse victims and their caretakers. You can see up here on the slide, we have two facilities, one in Myrtle Beach and one in Georgetown. These are both houses, and that's the model for the Child Advocacy Center because it's more child-friendly than having a child have to go to a police station, a doctor's office, possible social service offices. So we provide medical services, mental health services, education and advocacy and therapeutic services under one roof. And if we could go to the next slide. We are an accredited child advocacy center through the National Children's Alliance. The National Children's Alliance is a nationwide network of child advocacy centers based out of Washington, D.C. We have to work under certain standards and protocols to be a member of the National Children's Alliance, and we are reaccredited every 5 years. We've been serving Georgetown and Horry County since 1996. In 1996, there was no child advocacy center here, and Dr. Carol Rotter was an ER physician, and she would be looking for an advocacy center to send a child she had seen in the ER, and there was no place to send them close. So she gathered a task force and started the Children's Recovery Center. We're a nonprofit organization, and we're governed by a board of directors. And next slide, please. We have, Dr. Rotter provides forensic medical exams for all the children who come to our center. We also have a staff of forensic interviewers. I have 4 forensic interviewers. So instead of the police interviewing the kids and them having to tell these stories over and over again, they tell it one time, and that's at our center. These stories, most of the cases we see are for sexual abuse children. Last year in Georgetown, we saw 98 children. In Myrtle Beach, we saw 277. Last year in Georgetown, 47 children were treated for STIs, and the average age of the child we see for sexual assault is 9 years old. So when they come to our center, we talk to them about what has happened to them and what is going to happen, the day they're there. Everybody gets a head-to-toe physical exam with Dr. Carroll and a forensic interview. Most of the children who come to us have been through horrific traumatic events, and they need therapy. Therapy is also provided at the Children's Recovery Center. We also refer them for other services as needed. A lot of these kids are victims of abuse, but there's a million other problems in their home, and so they haven't been to the doctor, they haven't been to the dentist. A lot of them are in foster care, they don't have any clothes. So we provide follow-up services as needed. Next slide, please. We always strive for the best outcome for each child we see. We treat each child individually, and everybody at the Children's Recovery Center, along with our police department, the DSS workers, someone maybe from that child's school, we form a team around that child, and that's how our model works. And we strive for good community partnerships. I couldn't do my job at the CRC without help from the police. The police couldn't do their job without help from us. DSS, we're all intertwined. Everybody has a different part in what's going on with these kids. We also offer a high-quality education program, prevention program. What we don't want to see is we never want to see a child back at our center twice, and I'm sorry to tell you that does happen. And we want to make these children, we want to give them the tools they need to become strong adult survivors. Next slide, please. Like I said, we're a 501c3 organization. We fundraise. This year, We've had 4 fundraising events that had been canceled. Last year at this time, I had made $85,000 in fundraising. To date, this year, I've made 43. We have a trivia night at St. Michael's Church in Murrells Inlet. And of course, we participate in Palmetto Giving Day here in Georgetown County. And we recently just had a raffle, and we sold raffle tickets, and the CRC got $5,000, and the winner got $5,000. Next slide, please. I don't know if you're aware of it, but 1 in 4 girls and 1 in 6 boys will be sexually abused before their 18th birthday. Nearly 70% of all the sexual assault cases in the United States that are reported against children. More than 90% of the children who are sexually abused know their abusers. So children don't want to tell a lot of times. So a lot of times it's a long time before somebody tells their story. When I first came to the Children's Recovery Center, I of course knew what they did, but nothing could have prepared me to hear these horrific stories out of the mouths of babes. I also too was just shocked at our medical practices. Most pediatricians' offices test for strep throat, and we test for HIV and chlamydia. So the good news is that the kids who do come and go through our program and go through our therapy program do have a chance, and we like to give them that chance. So I want to thank you for having me here tonight, and if anyone has any questions, I'll take them.
Any questions from council? Well, thank you very much for coming here tonight.
Okay, thanks so much for having me.